Hello and welcome to Suitcase Disc by Disc, hosted by the Tin Can Laughter. I'm Ben,
And I'm Dan.
and today we're talking about Suitcase 2, Disc 2. A lot
Heck
of,
yeah.
it's a lot of twos. I don't have anything witty or anything.
Right.
It's the
Yeah,
second disc of the
yeah.
second Suitcase, 6 out of 16. Um, I don't have anything. I guess one
Right,
observation
right.
before we go in is there seems to be a special amount
Sure.
of recycling on this one, which we'll get into as we talk about the
Oh,
songs
really?
or it's relevant. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
glanced at it again. It's like a lot of these songs became something else or were already something else now that I think about it.
So fun. I gotta say, I had a few new discoveries on this disc. I think having been listening to it more than usual
Hmm.
lately, in preparation for this episode, there were a couple that stood out to me that I was kind of like, oh yeah, this is nice. So I'm excited to get into it.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
So without further ado, track one, I Am Decided, Power of Suck.
Yeah, Power of Suck. You know it's gonna be good if it's a Power of Suck
Yeah,
outtakes. Yeah,
yeah, unless you're Bob, but
right.
but
A lot of the Power of Suck songs are older too, and I know
yeah,
that this song has kind of I think it's an earlier version
yeah,
floating around called "Whiskey on Your Breath," which
that
kind
sounds
of
right.
I and I kind of think that one's like a late '80s kind of one,
It's
like kind of like
I.
Soul Barn era.
It sounds a little older. Like I don't really remember Whiskey on Your Breath. I guess I listened to it once and was like, ah, this is
It's
I Am Decided,
it,
but I don't love it.
it's yeah, it does not have that. It's got the exact same melody and structure.
Mhm.
It just doesn't have the I am decided chorus.
The blind will be led
It's
to the
like
fire tonight. Yeah,
yeah. So that which really kind of puts that song into a little upper echelon, I would say.
yeah. I
Its
mean,
earlier incarnate anyway.
yeah. I mean, personally, I think there are better Power of Suck outtakes. Like to me, I Am Decided is a song that just needs a better mix. Like I know it's Suitcase, so
Yeah,
that's a tall order. But I think
yeah.
was this an Albini track or a Deal track? I think it was a Deal
Um,
track.
I think it must have been. Yeah, I don't think it was
Yeah.
Albini.
Because I recall, I think it was the deal tracks that Bob was very reluctant to even mix. Like he didn't want to think about those
Yeah,
songs again.
yeah, true.
So
And there is, of course, a deal connection with this one
because
because
Kim
Bob
Deal, yeah,
essentially gifted the song to her.
and he gifted her another song too, which we'll talk about at the tail end of
Yeah,
this. Um, yeah,
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
I think it's the third track on the Amps album Pacer. I Am Decided,
yeah,
which is a mashup,
yeah,
effectively Kim Deal's amalgamation, which I think is why she gets a songwriting credit. It's an amalgamation of the chorus from I Am Decided and the verses from the song called Are You Faster? Not the one in Mag Earache, but the one at the end of this disc.
yeah. And you know what? That amps version is pretty great. I mean, that's kind of like the best parts of both songs.
I
Like,
can see that. I don't really love the Breeders, so I haven't really I like them, but it hasn't given me a drive
gotcha,
to explore the amps. I think I Am Decided is the
gotcha.
only amps
The
song I've heard and I don't remember it.
Oh, gotcha. The Amps album is basically, Kim Deal's Guided by Voices album.
Ooh.
It's funny. It sounds just like Under the Bushes pretty much. It's very
Oh wow.
like studio recorded, but really raw and just kind of like stripped down. Like I think I Am Decided is the only song on it that's got like a second guitar line
Oh
to it.
wow.
All the other ones are just kind of yeah. It's funny because I was looking at the liner notes to that one, and it was recorded all over the world. It was Ireland, Los Angeles, like all over the place, but it sounds like they did it at Cro-Magnon, basically.
Huh.
It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
But, but enough about the amps.
yeah. Now we got to talk
Uh,
about Mutts UK and their only song, Tainted Angels with Butter Knives, which showed up in some older bootlegs as Jason Lowenstein's a wanker. Uh,
yes, which is a lyric in the song,
yeah. What
hilariously
was
enough.
it?
I wonder
Uh,
what the story is with that one.
I've heard the story about it, which was,
But yeah,
I guess Sebadoh were being interviewed, and I guess someone had asked them about GBV taking the lo-fi crown from them, And Jason, who was a member of Sebadoh, said that he didn't like how Bob sang with a fake accent. We've talked before about the animosity that Sebadoh and God of My Voices seem to have with each other, and how I feel about that because I think both bands are among the greatest of all time. I will say that I actually like this song quite a bit. I like Tainted Angels a lot.
Yes.
It has a feel to it that most GBV songs don't have, and I think it's just all that reverb. Like there's a lot of reverb.
It's bass driven.
Oh yeah,
just kind of.
And it's a great riff.
It's such a great bass riff, and it's fuzzy. The vocals have kind of that spoken word kind of thing that Bob can pull off pretty well.
Proto Devils, if you will.
Yeah, it's a super cool song. I remember somebody once told me that they thought it could have fit on Sunfish Holy Breakfast or something like that, and
it's a little intense for that. I think it's a little too produced for that album.
Yeah, well, maybe like a little too like rocky, but yeah.
Maybe Plantations is a perfect package. I couldn't put this there, but I think isn't this a maggot? Isn't this supposed to be like a Mag Irrigatic or something?
It says that it was, yeah.
But
and it's credited to Pollard, Mitchell, and Fennell.
That's interesting for an Earwig lineup.
Yeah. But
I'm pretty sure Bob had cut Kevin out of his life at that. Well, not out of his life. That's a dramatic way of putting it. Bob had fired Kevin at that point. Kevin was off rambling. GBV is the devil.
But yeah, cool, very cool song.
Actually,
I'm into that one quite a bit. And,
but I gotta ask. Oh, sorry. Finish.
No, you go.
Finish your point.
I think if you were to combine all the stray tracks that happen between Under the Bushes and Mag Earwig, you would have something pretty neat.
Yeah, actually.
We talked about a few of them. Like we were talking about, like Bunko Man is probably kind of in that weird region.
Sucker of Pistol City. What I have to assume is the briefcase version of Sensational Gravity Boy.
Oh yeah.
Just to throw tracks in there. But I gotta ask. What about The Rock? This is one of my favorite songs on the disc.
It's amazing.
Okay, this is one of the best things. It's actually not one of the best things Bob's ever released. Let's not kid ourselves. So, What About The Rock is I have all the tracks selected that are, as far as I can tell, songs that either appeared previously somewhere else or appeared again after this in some form. So that's 14 of the 25 songs of the disc could be considered recycled if you think really hard about it. Maybe I don't know. Or could have become recycled. What About The Rock is technically one of them because the instrumental is on Tropic of Nipples as World's Coolest Rock Star. But there's another part of the song.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot all about that. That's awesome.
But there's another part about What About The Rock. You don't get a 7-minute song out of a Wilbur era instrumental. You get a 7-minute song because the majority of this is a drunken voicemail left by I think an artist who worked with Matador on Bob's designs. Mark.
Yeah.
I think his name was. And
is that who that is?
Mark I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah.
Him.
Oh.
That guy. That guy. Because the voicemail appeared on a little bit of Tropic of Nipples, and perhaps most famously, pops up at the end of Instrument Beetle. I love what she's about. This chick, she's the coolest chick I've ever met. Ever. But this is the whole voicemail. This is the whole voicemail.
Do you understand that? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like the coolest chick I ever met.
Ever.
But I can't deal with it.
Yo, I gotta wear this cool rock shirt. I got this new rock shirt. She got me this new rock shirt. It's this. I think on Suitcase 1 I made the case for Big Trouble being the perfect Suitcase song because it has all the bands screwing up. This is that for Suitcase 2. It's just a voicemail. It's not even Bob.
It's long. It's so quotable. One thing that stood out to me is at one point he says, "It's so my size."
Yeah, it's so my size.
And it's like that brown submarine lyric.
Ready to pop.
I'm saying she's so my
My
size.
size.
Yeah.
She's oh, I love Boston Spaceships.
Yeah.
Mems?
But
Oh,
yeah,
there is a
the
space.
whole
There is a
ever
spaceship
pop,
song in this
ever.
disc. Ooh, there is a spaceship song in this disc. Oh, that's so awesome. We'll get there later.
Nice.
Yeah. What about the Rock is great. I think it might be more memorable for just that god tier voicemail than the song itself. Like, it's a good tune, but
Yeah, it's an
it
interesting instrumental. Just
Yeah.
it's kind of fun to hear that. Yeah.
like it sounds like if in different hands it could have been like a Eurobeat tune, which is a weird way of putting it because it's Bob, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I could hear that having been like a dance hit in an alternate universe. Like obviously sounding kind of
Yeah.
different, but it's got that feeling to it. A song that doesn't have that feeling to it. Oh, sorry, what?
Oh. No, that's okay.
You sure?
We're moving on. Wait. Yeah.
Okay. On the
Moving
opposite,
on to Pack of Rolling Paper.
Pack of Rolling Papers is another Scott Joy tune, and unlike the last track, which clocked in at almost 7 minutes, this doesn't even hit 30 seconds.
Amazing.
Fucking Bob. When I edit
This
this,
is great.
when I edit this, I'm gonna have to play
yeah.
this like 5 times.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's nice.
Pack of Rolling Papers.
I'm on the floor.
It's nice.
Yeah, like it's not
It's
even
just a nice little sketch.
It's a thought. Oddly well recorded, I will note. I think
Yeah.
there's a few other tracks in the Suitcase that seem to be that session. There might be another one in this
really?
disc that isn't labeled Scott Joy. And, well, because the Scott Joy name seems to be less connected than most other recurring Bob names, as I noticed. We'll get there later.
Yeah.
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 But,
I think some of them are named, like some of the names are consistent. It's like you can tell, like, oh, these are all the same time period,
Yeah.
same session,
Scott-
same lineup.
Scott
and then
Joy isn't
same
that.
band name.
Scott Joy is just stuff,
Yeah,
I guess
because
Bob thought sounded nice. I don't know.
Scott Joy's like acoustic stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause,
not that all acoustic stuff is Scott Joy, but some acoustic stuff.
Yeah, because there's a track on disc 3, which in advance I would like to say I'm very much looking forward to. Has a song called 2 or 3 Songs that sounds like this but finished.
Oh, you're right.
So
yeah.
those are probably connected, and that's the impression that I get from this. That it's probably the same session, but it was just Bob riffing on an idea he came up with. Like I doubt Rolling Papers was ever really something Bob seriously thought about. It was just, let's give this a shot. Cool, done.
I'm totally in love with that theory, especially because it kind of helps date both of them because they have the different dates listed in the liners. But
well, we'll get to 2 or 3.
The truth is somewhere.
We'll get to 2 or 3 next week. Again, that disc might be an unedited hour and a half. I'm just gonna say that now.
So tune in next week
for the best episode. Whenever this is getting out there, probably November. Are we done talking about Rolling Papers?
I think we are.
Okay. Next we have Telephone Town by the One Too Many. This is another late 80s. I think this is late, probably 87, 88, before GBV just decided, fuck it, we're gonna get really rich. Yeah, that sounds about right. This feels a little different. Gotta admit, there's a lot of acoustic guitars, a lot of different percussion. It sticks out in that regard.
Yeah, it's got the Midwest, the Ohio Bob flavor to it more so than what they were actually releasing around this time.
Yeah. Oh, it's so Ohio Bob.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Ohio. There's a lot of Ohio Bob on Suitcase too, but yeah, definitely here.
And I'm pretty sure this one has a melodic connection to
Where I Come From.
On Suitcase 1, yeah.
Yeah, although, I mean, I don't know. I don't like trashing Bob, and I'm not going to do it here, because Telephone Town isn't a bad song, but I think everything it does, other Bob songs do better. Like, it's a good it's a good Suitcase track.
Oh, it's, yeah, it's a great Suitcase track. Yeah. No, yeah.
But like,
I like it. It's nice. It's got an early appearance from Toby, which is kind of cool.
I suppose I was always unsure about those 80s Toby credits, unless they were like recorded before he moved to Florida.
It must have been because they were doing a few things around that time. So.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
see that. That would make sense.
Yeah,
It kind of has a Toby feel to it, like because
it does. Yeah.
Toby doesn't have like I didn't listen to his new album, and I'm not going to if this ends up on the Facebook group. Um, Toby doesn't like to fuck up his pretty songs. He likes them pretty. I think it was Every Sweet Soul, the new
Right.
album. I did listen to that one. It's a straightforward vocals, acoustic guitar song. So this is like,
Mhm.
it would almost make more sense if he had done this one, I think. Like for Bob, it's a little weird because it's like,
Yeah.
it's pretty but not beautiful. And there's nothing fucked up about it.
That's true.
Yeah, again, that's what makes it a great Suitcase track, but it couldn't have gone on any of the albums.
Yeah, it wouldn't have fit on Devil Between My Toes or something like
Yeah,
that,
or-
with just pure like scuzzy, psychedelic,
Yeah.
basement-y weirdness. Yeah, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah. This next song also couldn't have gone on any GBV album for opposite reasons. Hey, I know your old lady. It doesn't matter when Bob.
masterpiece.
It is. I have to believe this is the 80s, but it really doesn't matter. It truly doesn't
It
matter.
really doesn't matter. Believe it or not, the date in the liner notes is 79. So, and it's got Mitch on drums,
Oh, that's not
Bob on
79.
guitar and vocal.
It's not 79, but I'm not going to argue that because really, it doesn't matter. Hasn't Bob sung this like more recently? Not on a recording or anything, just like some Heat Fest video.
Maybe.
It seems like one of his.
Maybe yeah, maybe like a live show banter kind of thing or something.
I always
know.
assumed this was just like a
It's-
back pocket song that he could just pull out, at like a Monument Club meeting.
Hey,
It sounds like that kind of song.
it
Hey, yeah.
sounds like a proto Cash Rivers. It
Oh,
sounds like you know.
man, he should remake that.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
it.
guess it's late now. It's
Yeah,
too late
right.
now, but yeah, good call.
There is. I think this song is just so perfectly like funny, off the wall. Like I just think it's hilarious. Hey, I know your old lady.
Hey, I know she's crazy, and that's about where my memory of that song ends.
Yep, that's it.
But I don't know that.
Select.
I was gonna do a lead-in, but let's just get into it. I've selected Headache Revolution. This was this is, I believe, an Isolation Drills era demo. Isolation Drills Earth
Yes.
Universal Truth era demo that was available, I think, on the enhanced Isolation Drill CD.
Yes, aka the internet.
Yeah, the TVT bootleg site, 2001, and there was a video that I will admit I have not seen, probably because it's very gone from the
I've
internet.
never seen the video.
I
I've
just-
always been interested in tracking it down, but
Yeah.
no one seems to have it.
Yeah, and it's Bob playing this little tune, minute and a half, called Headache Revolution. And several years after its inclusion in Suitcase, it emerged as a single by the Boston Spaceships and was included on their second album, Planets Are Blasted. They did a really good
Yeah.
version of it. They
So
really brought some life,
They did.
brought some life into this.
The Boston Spaceships had a knack for arranging stuff like this. Taking pretty gentle acoustic tune. It's
Mhm.
not just like a singer-songwritery tune, but it is kind of in
Yeah.
the demo form.
Mhm.
It's a little soft and gentle, and they made it rock while still retaining all the stuff that made it work acoustically, like the arpeggios and the little intricate kind of guitar bits and strumming and
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah, it's a solid remake, and the original's a solid demo with that too. I mean, considering its length,
yeah.
it's short, but
I was
I mean,
gonna say the singing.
it's really good singing
Talking over
actually.
each other here.
Ah,
Yeah. The chorus is such a Bob kind of thing to do. Like,
Mhm.
who else would sing the phrase "Headache Revolution" that way?
yeah, like-
"Headache Revolution."
like the emphasis is on
Uh-huh.
the revolution rather than the headache.
Yeah,
Ah,
I always like that.
yeah,
It,
good.
Yeah, you can see why. I guess at the time this was just an outtake from Isolation Drills.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty dang good song.
Yeah, for sure. Um, perhaps left behind by the annals of time. I hope I'm using that phrase right. I don't use it very much.
I think you are. Very
Okay,
good.
cool. Is Every Man, another 80s live track,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
from the same show as Something for Susan. As we discussed before, Something for Susan in the Shadows from Disc 1 found a second life as a Guided by Voices song. This didn't. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't really. Yeah, this one it does have a nice melody, but I can't really see it being remade.
Yeah,
but
like
it's cool.
Yeah, it's sort of that nice 80s sound that Bob had, like Telephone Town, where the songs are nice.
Yeah.
But like they're missing that sort of fucked up factor. And for those of you at home who may be wondering why we keep using such vulgar language, Bob wouldn't want it any other way. The correct term is fucked up.
Right. Yeah.
But
lovingly fucked with.
Yeah, lovingly fucked. Yeah, I mean it's Everyman's again. It's a good Suitcase tune.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like. It's a good tune. I just don't go back to it much.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. A song that's
this next one's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Bible, which you may have noticed isn't a word. It's almost a word because Bible is a word. Bible is not a word. You may also recognize it from its appearance on the first Psycho and the Birds album, All That Is Holy, one of my favorite Bob side project albums, as a matter of fact.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, it's got another.
Shout out to Todd for making a song this kind of loosely structured,
surreal.
Making something so like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what a surprise that the guy who makes Circus Devils would be able to take formless demos and craft symphonies out of them. Maybe this remake wasn't a symphony, but some of the other ones certainly were.
It's dang close. This is Milko Wave, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Milko Wave tracks in the Suitcase, and this is one of them.
Yeah. It's definitely when Bob was doing these, he was really leaning into like the stream of consciousness kind of songwriting. I feel like.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely.
You can hear that in like Normal Happiness, Coast to Coast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a few Normal Happiness demos on here as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell they're all sort of on the same batch, and and along with the Psycho and the Bird stuff. So yeah, I think it's really cool. This one is such an odd song, but there are definitely some cool little hooks and little riffs in it once you let it get under your skin. So.
Yeah.
The vocals are hard to hear, which is kind of a hallmark of the Psycho and the Birds style. So
yeah, I don't think Bob had like written lyrics or anything. I think he was just coming up with ideas completely on the fly. Oh, this song doesn't have words. Cool. Okay, cool. That's a hallmark of the album now.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice that there's a Benzin track on Suitcase 2, and it.
Hey, wow.
And it's called I Can't Help But Noticing, and it has some of the worst CD burner glitch on the entire collection, and is also one of the best songs in the entire collection, despite this.
It's nice to hear some Benzin again.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty definitely like from the same, let's just call it like a tape as the other Benzin stuff on Suitcase 1, right? It's the same guitar sound.
Mm-hmm. Same sort of
kind of vocal.
Yeah, there's a layered vocal in this one. There's a lot of overlapping vocal here. It's like what you were talking about when we talked about Tear It Out a month and a half ago. That it seems odd that Bob would write these multifaceted songs that he clearly put a lot of time and effort into and then do nothing with them. This, I think, fits into that.
Yeah, for sure. I've been meaning to, but I haven't yet. I wanted to compile all the Benzin stuff, which I think is just this track on Suitcase 2 and then some stuff on Suitcase 1 and plus Be It Not for the 17 Rain Dodger.
I guess
on Takeovers.
And then I think Class Clown on Suitcase 3, but we'll get there when we get there.
Oh yeah, you said that. We'll get there when we get there. Yeah, I gotta confirm that one.
Before we move on, I wanted to say that I've heard a really good cover of I Can't Help But Noticing by an act on Bandcamp called Sucko.
Yes,
Sucko.
that's Ethan, right?
It is Ethan. It is Ethan, and that thing has
Yeah.
like 50 songs, and there's a bunch of Suitcase 2 tracks, because I think it... I know at the time when he made it, it was that Suitcase 2 is his favorite Suitcase, so there's a bunch of tracks from it. And I can't help but noticing, I think
Oh,
it's one of
awesome.
the best of those tracks. By the way,
Wow.
listeners, if you're in the Facebook group, you might be aware of the existence of Ethan Oliva, because I know he's in that group. We'll mention... I'm going to mention him again later. Put it that way.
Yeah, so just go to succo.bandcamp.com.
I think there's a dash in there. The thing was called American Super Dream, so look that up and you'll find a lot of really good GBV
Yeah, I
covers.
remember listening to that when you put it out and was very
Oh,
impressed
yeah.
at the breadth of the covers and everything. So yeah, super cool.
I tried to one up him the year later. It didn't work quite as well though.
Really, what happened? I know you put out a lot of GBV covers.
It was. Oh, shit, we're gonna have to cut this, aren't we?
No, mistakes.
No, tough. It's self-promotion time. No, it was when I was recording with a 4-track. But I didn't really have any other analog equipment, so I was really restricted to the 4 tracks, and a lot of the songs just sounded bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah, some of them are still online, but I'm not going to tell anyone where to find them, because I don't really want people looking for my older stuff. Yeah, but the idea always comes back to try to just do a mega Bob thing, but I think I would have to be at a complete loss of original material for me to be doing that. Like that Wire cover album happened because I was just starting to get back into a songwriting groove half a year ago. Oh, like a 50 song. Yeah, like I'd love to do like a 50 Bob song cover thing and have, actually probably like a track or two from, maybe not this disc, but definitely all 4 Suitcases. But it would have to be like, maybe that'll be Winter Break. Ooh. Okay. Anyway.
I got some requests.
Okay, you'll have to just message them to me. I might cover this next song.
Yeah.
Mannequin's Complaint. Ooh.
Wow, yeah. What a great track.
Yeah. I don't think this is the better version of the song. Just because I think it was...
The B-side version that came out is like the full band kind of...
Yeah, and it's thunderous. It's so good.
It's thunderous.
A cat from Pluto's Purple Moon.
Oh, man. Love the melody on this song. Yeah, when he says that line, like, it's so cool.
Yeah, this sounds more like a demo that was then spliced with the original version.
Yeah.
I think this is there's a working version of Mag Ehrich that I've seen floating around online, like straight from a master tape, and it uses this version of Mannequin's Complaint. Which makes sense because you can hear at the beginning, you can hear little lines fitting into this.
Oh, sweet.
So I think it's this version that was going to be on Mag Ehrich, which is really weird, but then Mag Ehrich is kind of a weird album too. I guess it makes sense.
It's a super weird album, but yeah, I guess there's a lot of alternate versions of Mag Ehrich songs, even though this one didn't make the final cut.
True.
But it's almost like the way Choking Tara, like the stripped down version is on the album, and then the more full band is the B-side.
Yeah.
So,
or like Now to War has 2 versions. All bunch of songs. Or Knock 'em Flying even. Yeah. There's a lot of alternate Mag Ehrich tracks. Now that I think about it,
yeah. I wouldn't have minded if this was on the album. Either version. It's a cool song. Is this in waltz time? Or
yes. Yeah. Oh, this is a waltz with a capital W. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the kind of thing you hear in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy waltzes. That's always good.
Yeah, Bob doesn't do a ton of like heavy waltzes, but yeah, man, even this version kind of drives that point home too.
Yeah.
All right, that was a long enough pause. I think we can move on to Zarkov's coming. I think.
Zarkov's coming. Is this the song where Bob screams at us to stop screaming at him?
You stop screaming at me! I'm pretty sure the audio in this is only comes out of the left channel. Absolutely nothing coming out of the right channel. I mean, I'm pretty sure Bob ripped all these tapes himself, so, anything can happen. For whatever reason, my computer...
This is Hitler, right?
No, there's no Hitler in here. This is UB Hitler, which is a weird name.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you could ever put out a record with that name for what I hope to be obvious reasons.
Yeah. I think at least, if not actually, but at least spiritually, it's an Antler song.
I don't know if this is Antler. This sounds more like Acid Ranch. More on that in a bit.
Good point. Good point. I think
Yeah,
you could be right there.
yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, it is a little antlery because it's, guitar with, clanging guitar, reverb, and Bob shouting, "Stop screaming at me!" Could be. Huh.
This is great. It's fun. I love it.
Yeah,
I think you're right about the left channel.
Yeah, the listen earlier today of this disc, that song finally clicked. It's like, it's just fun. Gotta take it for what it is. It's fun.
Yeah.
Genuinely awesome is track 13, credited to, surprisingly, Acid Ranch because it's from an Acid Ranch album. Supersonic Love Funky Love Gun.
I totally agree. The song's amazing.
Yeah.
Just a good example of stream of consciousness. Just kind of Bob hitting some really cool musical ideas along the way.
Yeah.
This strange journey.
Yeah, it's mostly one chord, F. This is actually on an Acid Ranch album.
Really?
Most of it's just F. This is track 5, I think, on Acid Ranch As Forever, the second Acid Ranch album, which I think is why it's here without a fake band name. It's actually an Acid Ranch song. I wonder why he put it here, considering that the As Forever was the same year as Suitcase. I have a theory, actually.
It's just in the air, I guess.
Now that I think about it. Well, As Forever, not to I'll get back to the song in a bit. I'm pretty sure As Forever, as far as I know, I mean, I didn't know who GVV were in 2005, but that seemed to be a generally lower key release. Like, even the record sleeves were all just stuff that they found at used record stores and spray painted to say Acid Ranch, As Forever. I wonder if they had Suitcase 2 lined up with this track on it, and then Bob got the idea to make a second Acid Ranch album out of rediscovering this.
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible. I mean, I want to address this. I think I did it in other episodes, but people will comment on the videos we post that say, "Thanks for all the insight." Yo, a lot of this is insight, but a lot of this is also conjecture. Do not take this podcast as gospel. Do not take any GBV podcast as gospel.
I mean, we know our stuff.
Yeah,
really good,
but
we're
I mean, right now I'm just guessing about how Bob, thinks about putting out older material. I think this track actually got recycled.
There is
kind of. Oh, sorry. What was that?
On what, Jimmy?
No, actually, because that's just the line. Jimmy, catch your love.
Yeah.
No, The Way You Gave It to Me on 2016's Of Course You Are starts with the same chord on guitar, and the melody's pretty similar before the chord changes, and it just becomes a different song. So I have to believe it's. I don't know. If you listen to them, back to back, you'll kind of see what I mean. Like, it's really only for the first 15 seconds, but it's there.
I'm gonna check that out. I never noticed that one.
Yeah, it's one of the better tracks from Of Course You Are, I think.
Yeah,
and I think this is
the best part of this track is.
What is it?
Maybe the best part of this track is what it goes. In a crazy
cocoon of love. I think I'm partial to the part at the end where he speeds up and immediately loses all of his momentum and the song ends. Need a way to end your song? Just crash it into a wall. Acid Ranch, baby.
So good.
Yeah. Perch Warble. This sounds familiar.
This one before.
Yeah, but it's a different recording. I think this is from the same session as Spring Tigers and Value of Luxury and all those tracks.
I think it might be a little later on, maybe.
It's just definitely the same. Credits? Oh, it's the same session. Every instrument sounds the same. Every instrument's mixed in the same spot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely
I like this version more.
Hard disagree. It's still good. Just I like the other one more.
I know. Yeah, I knew. We discussed that. You were saying that they're in different keys, right?
They are.
Muddier Suitcase 1 version is in what key now?
He's in E, and then this one is in F. And I don't hate this version. I actually do like this version quite a bit. I think there's a universe where there's a third version of Perch Warble that sounds like this, but it's mixed better. because the vocals are really loud and the reverb just overtakes everything on this one. And it just doesn't have the impact that I know this song deserves to have. If
Yeah.
there's a universe where there's a third version of Perch Warble on like Alien Lanes.
And it was a #1 hit.
Well, not that. GBV don't have JBV are too good to have number
There is
one
a
hits.
universe where Perch Warble is a #1 hit.
That
I
is
mean,
fair.
just,
Might as well.
you know,
It's the universe where Jimmy
We don't
didn't
wanna
get
go
injured.
there.
Yeah. But it's a good tune. Uh,
Yeah.
there are certainly other Suitcase songs that will appear in multiple suitcases. Again, we'll get there later. And this appears to be one of them, and I do like that. I do like that. Fun fact about this that has nothing to do with the recording itself, but how I first heard this version was I actually used to use Spotify a lot, and that's how I listened to the first two Suitcases for a while until I bought them. But I also had found files for some of them otherwise, so I had local files set up because I was stupid and didn't know how to use Spotify. So every time I listened to the Suitcase 2 version of Perch Warble, after it ended, the last 10 seconds from the Suitcase 1 Perch Warble would come in. Which is a weird way to listen to the song, but I haven't listened to it like that in 7.5 years, but I can still picture it in my head and it still works. I like the idea of that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I've never listened to them back to back, so I guess I can't really compare it. To me, I
fair.
just hear this one and it's like, it sounds weird, so I'm like, it's
It is clear. It's clear, so it's better. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
You're not the queen anymore. This
Love this one.
I'm into this. There's not a. I'm just thinking. I don't know what to say about it. I don't have anything to say about this one. I don't think
Rare.
actually.
Well, it's dated as 95 in the liner notes, which is pretty rare commodity, like a 95 kind of track on
Yeah.
the Suitcases.
It could be actually.
You have a lot of those.
Maybe it's 94. It kind of sounds like the Cruise demo in Suitcase 3. Now that I think about it, it sounds kind of similar to that. It could be.
It always. Sorry. I was gonna say it always sounded to me like something that maybe could have been on Alien Lanes.
I don't know if it could have been on
like
Alien Lanes, but
But they sound to it.
yeah,
I really like it.
yeah, I do like it too. But when you contextualize it as could this have been on Alien Lanes, I think about it and I don't think it could. There's nothing on Alien Lanes is a hard-edged album. This song has no.
Right.
This song doesn't have it. Like it's weird, but it's not an edgy weird.
Okay. I like the line about
It's
new
the-
blood. What's it say? To snake my veins. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm partial to what is it? Crap, I just had it. Hold on. The best part of the day comes. It's the guessing game, and when it comes, I'm never ready. And then it's gone. Would like to hear that one. I'd like to hear that line again.
Yeah. Oh, it's a super nice melody. It's just kind of a classic Bob style composition. It almost sounds like he's just making it up as he goes along, but I don't think he is on this one. But maybe the melody a little bit, but yeah, it's cool. This was like a preview track for Suitcase 2.
That sounds about right.
We're just being into it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it, man. Like, do you understand? Like, isn't that weird?
Oh my god. Wow. This might be one of the longer episodes already.
Oh man.
Padding it out with more voicemail jokes. Well, we'll see. We might actually end up at about 55 minutes again.
Perfect. Ivanhoe.
Yeah, better known to some as Jancy by the Takeovers, and No Trash Allowed from Suitcase 3. This is an instrumental version.
Yep, all the exact same instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
But with completely different vocals, and then this version is just the instrumental.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I don't know. It's kind of funny, kind of interesting little ditty.
Yeah,
So
like the thing is, now that I've heard Jancy, which I like, and No Trash Allowed, which I absolutely adore, it's hard to listen to this because I can only listen to it in the context of, oh, it's No Trash Allowed without Bob's great lyric.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like it's almost a song. It's very close to being a song, but it's not a song. I don't have a whole lot else to say about that.
Yeah.
How
That's
can you say anything
interesting.
else about that? Funny. How can you is what sounds like a recording of. Well, it's a recording of How Can You, but man,
It's a recording of
this song has
Slave Your
roots.
Beetle Brain
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah. So this song, I think it might be a different recording that was reversed and then used
Yeah.
to open Maggie Turns to Flies, the first track in Not My Air Force. The lyrics are pulled from Theory of Broken Circles, which again means that these lyrics also
Yep.
ended up in a bunch of other
Acid
songs.
Ranch.
Yeah, so How Can You's roots are pretty deep in the recycling world of Bob Hollard. And it's a good
Yeah.
tune, too, at that.
It is kind of a folky song to me.
Oh, very
Kind of-
folky.
The melody is a little lilting.
Yeah, it's more deep Ohio Bob, but it's not the same kind of Ohio Bob. It's not Telephone Town Ohio Bob.
I don't know if this is because I'm used to hearing it backwards, but the way Bob sings the chorus kind of sounds a little bit like backwards singing.
I'm not with you
And he
on
goes,
that.
"How can you?" What's that?
Maybe it's because he starts at the high note and then ends on the low note, which isn't really something you hear a whole lot. Actually, no, I've never thought about it that way. Ooh. It does descend. I don't hear that a lot.
Yeah, on is it Delicious Pie that has the backwards version
Yes.
of Slave Your Beetle Brain?
Yes.
Where it really does sound like the chorus. It sounds like he's saying Slave Your Beetle Brain.
Ha!
Really weird cadence.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I like it frontwards and backwards, like
Yeah.
both ways. are
Frontwards,
cool.
this isn't a
I think-
pavement podcast.
Wow.
No, yeah, I'm
That
with
was
you
a
there.
stretch.
It's such a stretch.
Mhm.
The next song. I was gonna note my important songs playlist has nothing from this disc, but if it was gonna be any song, it would be track 18, The Lodger Carried a Gun.
Oh, wow.
It's more 80s Ohio Bob, but it's a dark Ohio Bob. Like it sounds like a guy. It sounds like a song about a guy carrying a gun into a mall, and the understandable consequences from doing that.
Right. That to a nice jangle rock kind of tune.
Nice jungle rock song about a guy losing his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Lovely thing.
You can't get much more like Ohio Bob than that.
Yeah. I think this one is credited. I think has co-writes from Jimmy and maybe even Mitch. So it's possible
Jimmy and
this.
Mitch, yeah.
It's always in with credits like that. Maybe this was Acid Ranch first, and there's a version of the song that has none of that sweet jangle charm and just sounds like three guys, I don't know, making coat hanger music.
I wouldn't be surprised. Might be onto something
Yeah.
there. This
Suitcase
version also
5!
credits Toby on guitar.
I could see that.
So I think so I think it's probably around the same time as Telephone Town. Just the same kind of deal.
I wouldn't have paired it with that
one
one.
maybe a
I
little
don't know
bit
which
more.
one. Like, there's other Suitcase
Well-
2 tracks that sounds more like, I think. And it's
Yeah,
better
that's
than
true.
all of them. Lodger's an important song. This song is great.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Of all the songs I've highlighted for, tracks that got recycled, this isn't one of them, and that's a shame.
That's true.
Maybe the Jimmy Mitch co-write makes it harder to bring back, because again, I don't think Mitch Mitchell has any desire to be, involved with GBV again. Especially, paired with Bob's very vocal anti-Trump comments. And just,
Oh.
I'm not getting into that now. I mean, fuck Trump, we'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I think I wrecked the momentum doing that. I'm really sorry. Laundry Carried a Gun is great. You know what else is great? It's Metro 16. Very great.
Yeah.
It's
Very Acid Ranch.
yeah. It sounds like it was recorded in a vacuum with a vacuum cleaner. and it's
Oh,
I think there
let
is
me
a
read you
vacuum
the
on it.
credits.
Isn't there a vacuum on this?
Let me read you the. Yeah, it's Robert Pollard plays guitar, glass of water, vocal, and chord organ, and Mitch
Ooh,
Mitchell is on metal box, vocal, and Hoover. Now that's a lineup. You
I
want to
think
talk about like a dream
ooh,
lineup?
I think I hear the chord organ on this. What's funny is that the implication there is that this is a multi-track recording, but from when?
Hmm. That's true.
I've
How are
posed
you
this
going to play a metal
yeah,
box and a Hoover?
and ding 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 ding, because it
Yeah.
sounds 80s. It sounds very 80s.
It's dated 1980 in this,
Oh, it's
and
possible. Unless it's
wow.
yeah. I think there's another track this was recorded with. That's later on in here. We'll get there
So
when we
cool,
get there.
very cool, early like experimental beyond the
Yeah.
rock or acoustic kind of style. Like this is almost unclassifiable.
Yeah.
What a cool track. Like if I don't know if
It's
you
Nightwalker.
yeah.
Bears mentioning that this song has exactly 2 lyrics. One of them is the title, and the other is "We are living in a nude metropolis." If you're
Yes.
a Cosmos fan, which I do believe you are,
Yep.
you may know that line very well from a Cosmos track called "Nude Metropolis," which recycles like 5 Bob songs.
Yeah, that's such a neat track there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. So, and it's
one of the
has Bob going dum da
Dum,
dum, mirroring
which is so
the,
cheesy.
the little water glass.
Yeah. Yeah. Next. All right. Do you have anything else to say about Metro 16?
I mean, of all songs that you would expect to get like a remake as a pretty catchy like
Dance
jangle
pop
rock
tune.
song, like
It wouldn't be
doesn't
that.
spring to mind, but it works. Yeah.
Yeah. We have another Milko Wave 2 now. Ethan once
man.
told me that in his opinion, this is the worst thing Bob's ever released. Is My Dream Making Machine.
I gotta take.
I disagree with that.
Umbrage with that.
No, I disagree with him too, and I've told him it's like, dude, what the fuck? No. Just at the very least.
Choices.
Yeah. Well, worse choices, but we're not here to talk crap about GBV. Please Be Honest was a good album.
Please Be Honest is one of the best albums.
Yeah, so but that's such a tangent. Gonna put a cap on that. Dream Making Machine at the very least can't be the worst thing Bob's ever released because it starts with some great guitar playing.
I like his singing on this.
Yeah,
song.
I like
it's
his
cool.
Like the earlier in the track, the ghost vocals.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then it starts to build up.
You can't recreate that in the studio.
This is exactly the essence of the Milko Wave. This is Milko Wave in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Why wasn't this one a Psycho and the Bird track? We'll never know.
This is especially. Actually, I think I know why. It's because it has even less structure than the unstructured other Milko Wave songs. This song is almost intangible.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere there's a recording of Todd like fumbling his way through it for a little bit and then being like, "Bob, like."
Yeah, I mean, as we learned on Suitcase 4, that album did have outtakes. But somehow I have a hunch this wasn't one of them.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, like I like it. I like it, Ethan. It's just intangible.
Yeah.
Significantly more
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah. It's a little hard to grasp. Significantly more tangible and also about as live, because it sounds like an 80s live recording, is the second longest track on this disc, Mustard Man, which is a goofy name that nonetheless still reappeared as a Power of Suck title. I think Mustard Man and Mother Monkey. I like this one. I like Mustard
good
Man.
Point. Yep. For sure. Kind of a neat. I don't know all the lyrics, but from what I glean of them, it's like a character study about Mustard Man. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm just replaying Mustard Man in my headphones. So I love how it's got that kind of riff in the verse, and it builds up to that grungy chorus.
I don't know about grunge. I think grunge is a little grimier.
Well, I mean, it predates grunge, so,
Hmm.
but it does have kind of a grungy churn to the chorus.
I can see where you're coming from. I can see
Yeah.
that.
It's kind of like that one. There's a contemporary song of Mustard Man that kind of has an Alice in Chains kind of groove to it.
Hmm.
But I don't think we've heard it yet. It's like I think it's on another disc on Suitcase too. So I'll bring it up when we get to it.
Gotcha.
Yep. Anywho.
It's a pretty actually solid 4-song stretch here. And I still think, despite that tangent, that we'll be able to finish this under an hour, and you'll see why. Alone in Time.
Okay.
Alone in Time.
I love Alone in Time.
Oh, I think it's the same session as like Best Things Going Round, and that medley from the first one. It sounds the same.
Yeah,
but
totally.
It's better.
Totally the same.
But
which is cool because I mean we know that one of those songs ended up as a B1000 outtake, so that means this one could have been a B. This one could have been a B1000 track. I think
it could have been so much more than this. It should have been so much more than this. It is still only this. I think
this one has a lot of potential. It should be revisited.
It needs to. When I do my 500 song GVV cover album, this will be on it. It sounds like Bob's using his guitar to make like percussion effect, which I think is why the song sticks out to a degree.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a nice melodic turn at the end. And I don't think there's really lyrics to the song per se, but
Alone in Time. No, there definitely aren't.
It's like.
Yeah, and then he shifts to a chord that just doesn't work, and he's like, "All right, end the song."
Oh yeah.
That's Suitcase, baby.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
A minute. That's a gem. That's a very deep cut on Suitcase, I think.
Yeah. Dusty Bushworms.
Ooh.
Same session as Perch Warble. Another full band Saturn X track.
Right. Another Toby on guitar track from the 80s. Oh wait. Yeah. This has got to be 80s.
I think this would be 90, 91 by that point.
Oh, okay. You're probably
so
right.
It's like transitioning out of 80s Bob and into what would become Propeller.
Yeah.
So this is in that sort of...
Yeah. This song, Dusty Bushworms, is so good in either incarnation. I don't really know which one I like better. But...
First one. I have to prefer the EP one. This one doesn't.
Gooms version.
Yeah, Gooms. This one doesn't hit the same nerve.
I agree. I think I could get behind that. The stripped down one just has a little bit prettier.
Yeah. Dusty Bushworms was also doing some old forum digging. This song made a lot of people really angry back in the day. Because
it has very prominent
audio glitches. And I think there was something else about it that made a lot of people really angry. I think it was someone had said that it was not a glitch that could have been caused necessarily by the original tape. Like it sounds like it wasn't on the tape. So this was the result of like the burner fucking a digital glitch. I think it was this year. Someone on Disarm the Settlers.
This year?
It was this year. De-glitched the track. Yeah, de-glitched it, and it's only available to like the 80 people on DTS.
Shout out to Essel Fortium, who also at one point produced a version of the other song we were just talking
about.
Alone in Time.
I knew someone had done something with that one. I was wondering if it was her.
Yeah.
Sick. So someone actually de-glitched Dusty Bushworms, and of course, all the people who complained about it back in the day, they aren't really around anymore, but we are, and it's nice hearing it without what I think Bob credits Jimmy with as Bushworms, because that's a real instrument. But I actually like it with the glitch. I've just gotten so used to hearing it like that.
I don't mind it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like arms and elastic. It's how it's meant to be.
Yeah. I like the slowness of the song, the way the vocals kind of drift. It's just got a nice feel to it.
Yeah.
Also neat about this version
is the ending
to the EP. Yeah, the ending, which is the melody of a song we're going to hear in a couple tracks. Are You Faster?
Yeah, I think we'll be talking about that in a minute, because I have, without exaggeration, nothing to say about Free It, because it's on Suitcase 1. I guess my comment is, was a part of the first track in the medley on Suitcase 1, My comment is I think Free It is better because it was the strongest part of the medley anyway. So just having on its own is kind of nice. But I have nothing to
Yeah.
add.
It's kind of neat because it's so close in track listing, at least to Alone in Time, which is also from the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I honestly think Bob recorded these within like minutes of each other.
Yeah.
Literally, like it sounds like he hit record and he came up with maybe, who knows, 6 or 7 ideas, maybe more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing
yeah,
new.
You're right. Free It's the highlight. So
Yeah,
we already talked about
yeah,
it. What's it called on Suitcase One?
This View.
You?
Yeah, This View. So as we hit the hour mark, damn. One last song. One last song on this disc. If you listened to Pacer by the Amps in 1996, you've heard this before. If you've listened to Mag Earwig, which has a song called "Are You Faster," you haven't.
Nope.
This is a "Are You Faster" by Christopher Lightship, 342, Power of Sock. Woo! I like this one. I really like this one.
I like it a lot.
We need this.
Got a neat
bring it back,
riff on the verse.
Yeah, it's the sort of Maggie turns to flies, move the D shape up and down the fretboard a lot because it sounds really cool. It's that kind of riff.
Oh man, Bob's really singing with gusto.
Oh yeah. Again, it's a demo, but he's giving it his all.
Slow. Hell yeah.
You're the master. You say a lot of things.
Cool.
Like this is kind of a love song. Like maybe not a straightforward love song, because again, it's Bob, but it is a love song, I think.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah, great track. I mean, if you want to hear a full band version, then check out that Amps version of I Am Decided, which mashes up the verse of Are You Faster with the chorus of I Am Decided. But,
and it works.
Here, they bookend the disc as separate tracks. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I can see why it was mashed up the way it was with I Am Decided, because like the chorus of this song is like a little weaker than the verse.
It's more of a bridge than a chorus.
Yeah.
The chorus is really just effectively Bob saying, "Are you faster?" or "You're the master" at the end of the verse. Like this song doesn't really have a chorus, which can work. There's some good songs without choruses.
I wonder if there's a full band GBV version of this floating around somewhere. I mean, supposedly there's a rehearsal version of Pink Drink.
Yeah, but
somewhere.
Greer never mentioned.
Basement, so.
Yeah, but Greer never mentioned this. Greer never mentioned, a basement version of Are You Faster? So who knows?
No.
We'd love to hear one.
A full band version would have kicked ass too.
So much ass.
Yeah, so much ass.
That's the motto for the Suitcases. Suitcase. So much ass.
Suitcase.
Ass blasters.
Hell yeah.
Are you an ass blaster?
An ass blaster. Are there more Power of Suck things coming up?
On this? Let me check. Let me check. I think we're going to wrap it up now, but I'm going to briefly check Disc 3, which I've said before I'm incredibly excited to talk about. I'm looking it over real quick. Is there any Power of Suck? Well, not on Disc 3. Not on Disc 3.
Okay. All right. Well.
And are there any on Disc 4?
Disc 3.
And none on Disc 4. It's going to be a while.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got more coming along on another Suitcase, but for now, that might be it for Power of Suck demos on Suitcase 2. But Power of Suck was a legendary shit-canned album, so always love hearing those tracks. Stingy Queens, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Get real.
Yeah. That wraps it up. That absolutely wraps it up for.
That was perfect.
Yeah. For Suitcase 2, Disc 2. Join us next week when we have our special 4-hour episode about Suitcase 2, Disc 3. It will not actually be that long, but
no.
I'm gonna need you to help me out here a little. Man, I'm just saying. I'm looking over Disc 3 now. Arguably, might be the best disc.
Oh, there's some good stuff on here. I gotta say.
There is a top 5 Bob song on this disc, but again,
Oh,
That's next.
totally.
That's next week. So until
Tune in
then,
next week.
we've been Suitcase Disc by Disc, and take care, everyone.
Yeah, be safe.